Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Simplified Basic Concepts. In this video, I'm going to discuss about training and development. This is the fourth video in the series of staffing. In my previous videos, I have discussed about what is staffing and the first two elements of staffing, which are recruitment and selection. And here I'll be discussing the third element of staffing, which is training and development. HR department of every organization is always focused towards the improvement of the manpower of the organization. The manpower means the human resources or the employees who are working in the organization. Now, generally what happens is people think that training is imparted to those people who lack certain skills. But basically, training and development in an organization is an educational tool which consists of information and instructions which are used to improve the performance of the employee, to sharpen the skills of the employee, and at times to introduce new concepts and knowledges to the employees who are working in the organization. So it is often used to motivate the employees, because at times it happens that to improve the organizational commitment, training and development is required. And the new talents are always attracted towards those organizations which provides training and development to their employees, because by this the organization publicize their HRD efforts. That is, HRD here denotes human resource development efforts. So any employee or any candidate, if he'll see that an organization is putting up extra effort to enhance and sharpen the skills of its employees by providing regular training and development, obviously those employees or those candidates will be attracted towards these type of organizations. That's why organization at times use training and development as publicizing tool also. Training and development here, as we discussed, is an educational tool, right? It enhances the skill of the employees, it improves their performance, how to do the work in a new way, in a better way, in an enhanced way. And when new concepts or new things are being introduced, that knowledge is also imparted to the employees via training and development by the organization. Now, there are two more important things which gives benefit to the organization when the organization prefers to provide training and development to its employees. What happens is, at times the organizations prefer to hire less skilled and trained employees in place of high skilled and trained employees. So when less skilled and less trained employees are hired, then what happens, after hiring, these people are being imparted the training and development programs. So this reduces the hiring cost, because hiring of less skilled employee will obviously be cheaper for the organization rather than hiring more skilled employees. Here the organization in one way is reducing its hiring cost by hiring less skilled employees, and after that providing them training and development and bringing them at par with the skilled employees, right? So this is one more advantage of training and development. This I discussed in recruitment, that hirings are of two types, right? Internal hiring and external hiring. Internal hiring means when there is a vacant position, that position is being filled by the employees who are working in the organization itself. And how can it be done? By either promoting the employee to the vacant position or transferring one employee to the vacant position department, right? So this is internal hiring. In case of internal hiring, we know that the advantages are that the employee is well aware with the organizational work culture. So this is one advantage of the internally hired employee. The second advantage is that when these internally hired employees are given training and development, then they perform better than the skilled people who are hired from outside. So this is double benefit for the organization. So these are the ways in which training and development is advantageous for the organization also, and for the employees who are working in the organization. Now, training and development at times are used as synonyms for each other, but these two are basically different activities. The management of the organization takes initiative and provides training to fill the skill gap. Skill gap means whatever is expected from an employee to perform, and the way in which an employee is performing. If there is a gap between the two, then training is being provided so that the employee performs at par with the expectation of the organization. And the development initiatives are taken with the objective of future succession planning. Training is basically short-term and reactive process which aims at upgrading the employee's skills, knowledge and competencies. So reactive process means when the management finds out that there is a gap in the expectation of the skills which are required from the employee and the skills which the employee is having, then only training is being imparted. That is why it is said to be a reactive process, right? Or whenever it is found out that there are some new concepts in the market and the employee should be aware of it, then training process is being imparted. That is why training is short term and reactive. That is, whenever the need is found, then only training is imparted to the employees. And the training is basically job related and is often provided to the employees to ensure means to make sure that they perform on the assigned task. Assigned task here means the roles and responsibilities which are given to the employee to perform as per their profile, right? So the job related training is often provided to the employees to ensure they perform on assigned tasks and contribute to the success of organization. Development is a long-term process. It is for executive purpose. The main aim is to improve the overall personality of the employee and prepare them to perform well in the future job. Right, so here we can see the difference, that training is about enhancing the present skills, knowledge, competencies of an employee so that he can work well on his profile and do the jobs properly, whereas development is to improve the overall personality so that in future, it's not about present role only, it's about when in future added responsibilities will be given to the employee, then how well can he perform those roles. For that, development activities are being done. The training is the process of teaching employees the basic skills that they need to perform on their jobs. So training typically focuses on providing employees with specific skills, all helping correcting in their deficiencies which are required in their performances. Training is said to be a short-term learning process that involves the acquisition. Acquisition means acquiring, right? Acquiring the knowledge, sharpening of skills, concepts, rules, changing attitudes, behavior, whatever is required to enhance the performance of the employees. After an employee is selected and placed and introduced in an organization, I hope you remember the sequence which I discussed earlier, that first step in staffing is recruitment, then comes selection, after that it's placement and introduction or orientation of the employee in the organization. After that, he must be provided with the training facilities so that the employees can perform his job efficiently and effectively. So basically, training is a social and continuous process of enhancing and increasing the skills, knowledge, attitudes and efficiencies of the employee for getting better performance in the organization. Right, now I hope training is very clear and there's no more confusion between what is training and development. Training is all about how to do the job properly, right? Now let's see a quick brush up between training and development, though I have discussed this in my previous videos also. Training is a learning process in which the employees get an opportunity to develop their skill, competency and knowledge as per the job requirement. So training is everything which is related to the job, whereas development is an educational process which is concerned with overall growth of the employee. Training is short term. It is short term because it is imparted only till the time the skills are enhanced, right? It has nothing to do with the future planning. And development is a long-term planning because here the focus of development is to enhance and modify the personality of an employee so that he can take up future responsibilities. That is why development is a long-term process. In training, the basic focus is on present, right? Whereas the focus is on future in development activities. Now, training is always job oriented. That is, whatever skills, competencies, knowledge are required to perform a job, to enhance those skills, training process are being given to an employee. Whereas development is career oriented. Now, the basic objective of training is to improve the work performance of the employees, whereas the basic objective of development is to prepare the employees for future challenges. Why future challenges? Because in future, if an employee will be given up added roles and responsibilities, so he should understand how to perform those roles and responsibilities in a better way. So to take those future roles, responsibilities, those challenges, development activities are being done, right? Now, in training, there are many individuals at a time. Maybe people from the same department are being given training on a particular topic at same time. But in development, one or few individual is there at a time, because for every individual, their career growth will be different. The focus will be different. That is why development activities tailor-made. Tailor-made means depending upon people or employee, and it varies from one person to another, right? Now, let's see what is the training process. The training process begins with training needs assessment, then comes establishing objectives. Third is selecting the training method, then comes imparting or implementing the selected training method. Then after that comes evaluation of the implemented training program, and the last one is feedback. So let's begin with the first step, that is identifying training needs. Now, how come an organization find out when is training needed? So basically, training is required when there is a difference found between the standard performance and the actual performance of the employee. That is, for every roles there are some standards being set, and when an employee's performance is not matching to that standard performance, then an organization feels that there is requirement of training for that employee, right? So the organization, by imparting training, tries to bridge the gap between the standard performance and the actual performance of the employee. So this gap underlines the need for training of the employees. So basically, in the first step, the gap is identified in order to assess the training needs, right? Now, after identifying that there is a gap between the standard performance and actual performance of the employee, the objective is being established. Now, there are different objectives that the companies can set before implementation of the training and development program. The different objectives based on which the training needs can be found out are: either the training can be to impart skills. That is, under this objective, the employees are trained to operate the equipment and machinery correctly. So the goal here is to improve the work efficiency. So when an organization finds out that an employee is not able to perform well on his equipment and machinery, then skill training is being imparted to the employee. Now, the second objective can be to educate. This objective is linked with providing information about theoretical concepts and provides hands-on experience of the tasks. So the goal here is to improve the reasoning power of the employee, right? Now, the second objective can be, if the organization finds out that the employee is not having proper theoretical concept and knowledge about the task, then the organization can arrange training programs to educate the employee about the theoretical concepts and how to perform the work in a theoretical way, so that the employee can enhance his reasoning power, can relate his work, and can do the work properly, right? The third can be to enhance knowledge. The objective here is to improve behavioral knowledge of the employee, and the goal is to enhance understanding of human relations and management. The fourth objective can be ethics. That is, the objective here is to provide knowledge about the ethical conduct in the organization, and the goal is to regulate the conduct of employees in the organization. So at times it can be found out that the employee in the organization doesn't have correct knowledge about the ethical conducts which are being followed in the organization. So for that also training is being given to the employee. So here the focus of the training program will be to educate the employee about the ethics which are being used in the organization so that the employee can work properly. By this, the conduct of the employee in an organization is being controlled. Conduct means the way in which an employee behaves in an organization is being controlled here. One more objective can be extraordinary skills. To impart extraordinary skills such as critical decision making, problem solving, etc. also training is being imparted, and the goal here is to make the employees ready to face future challenges. So these are few examples of the objectives which the organization can jot down, and whichever objectives the organization finds that the employee is lacking, based on that only the training programs can be made, right? So if an organization feels that the employee is lacking the theoretical knowledge, then the training program will be shaped so as to provide the theoretical knowledge to the employee. And if the organization feels that the employee who is hired doesn't have proper knowledge about the ethics, the rules, the regulations, the way in which the organization works, and how to regulate the conduct of the employee in an organization, then the organization can make such training programs, can impart such training programs to the employee so that the employee gets clear idea about the ethics of the organization. Right. The third step is to select the training method. The training method means the desired way, the desired means of attaining the training objective. That is, if the objective is being set, then how come, that is by which training method that objective can be fulfilled is found here. So an appropriate training method is identified and selected to achieve the stated objectives. There are two types of training methods basically. One is on the job training and another is off the job training. On the job training means when an employee is working on his job and is imparted training, that is, he is being given training in the work environment itself. And off the job training means he is not given the training at his workplace. The types of training methods or the types of trainings is a different topic which I'll be discussing later on. Right. Now here the selection of training method is basically done. Right. Now there are different types of training methods. There are role plays, there are induction methods, there are orientation programs, right? So based on the objective, any of these training method is selected. Now when the training method is selected, then comes implementation of the selected training program. So after the selection of an appropriate training method, the plans are prepared and the programs are implemented to get the desired output. So here the employees are trained to develop for better performance of the organizational activities, right? So implementation of the training is done here. Now then comes evaluation of the program. So here evaluation of various aspects of the training program is done to know whether it was effective or not. At the end, the basic focus of the training program is to educate the employee with the skills which was lacking in him. So in evaluation, it is being tried to find out that after trying to impart those skills, those knowledge by the organization, is the employee actually able to grab those skills and apply it in his real workplace or not. And finally, there is a feedback. A feedback mechanism is created to identify the weak areas in the training program and to improve it. Detailed information about the training program is obtained, evaluated and analyzed to find the weak areas of it for improvement. So in evaluation program, if it is being found out that the employee is not able to grab those skills which are being imparted to him in the training program, then obviously there is some flaw in the entire training process. So in feedback, the flaw is being found out and that is being informed to the training managers that where is the flaw and what steps can be taken to improve the training method in a better way, so that the employees get better understanding of the things when training is being imparted to them. Now then comes importance of training and development for the organization. Right, so training and development helps in better utilization of organization's resources, that is men, machine, material and money. Training and development program ensures less wastage of resources of time. How? because when an employee is being trained, he knows how to do his job properly, then obviously there will be less wastage of resources and time. Right? So when a worker is skilled and trained, the amount of wastage will obviously be less, and the learning time, that is the new skills that will be imparted to these workers, the learning time will be reduced and the work will be performed in a lesser time in a better way. Right? So that is what is called as effectively and efficiently performing the work. Then the third point, the employees learn new and improved methods of performing an activity, which helps the organization to survive, compete, and grow in the market. Right? Because an organization is made up of its employees. So if the employees, the workers working in an organization does their work perfectly, efficiently, effectively, then only an organization will be able to survive, compete in the market. Right? Then training and development results in improvement of performance of its employee, reduces the employees turnover and absenteeism. Reduction in employees turnover means lesser number of people leaving the organization. So when lesser number of people leave the organization, there will be less burden on the organization, because when employees leave the organization, then those vacant positions need to be filled. So that will be an added cost on the organization, because recruitment cost is high. This we have discussed in the recruitment chapter. So training and development helps the employees to be motivated at their workplace, which reduces the employees turnover and absenteeism, and this is one of the biggest advantage for the organization. And the last importance is it develops a positive attitude in the employees towards the work and the organization, and helps them to adapt to the changing environment. So when the employees are happy, that is obviously a benefit for the organization. So these were the importances of training and development for the organization. Now what are the importance of training and development for the employees? Skills and knowledge acquired from the training program adds to the resume of the employees. So what is happening? The training and development activities which are imparted to the employees adds up to the skills, enhances the skills of an employee, and it also adds to the resume of an employee. Right? Then the second is improved performance is a sort of motivation for an individual by better performance, and the employees here can contribute to the organization's success, which ultimately increases their incentives. So when an employee is performing in a better way, then he gets very motivated, because he feels that he can contribute to organization success. And the other benefit which the employee gets is, when he performs well, he gets more incentives. So it's double way benefit for the employees too. Right? Then the third importance is, when an employee is trained enough, he or she will handle any situation or problem and deal with the challenges in a better way. Right? Then the fourth point is, training makes workers machine or equipment friendly, which reduces the number of accidents during the process. So when an employee is trained, he knows how to work properly on the machine, on the equipments, and this reduces the number of accidents. Training helps the employees to stay up to date with the technological changes, and this helps the employee to work better at the workplace. And the last point is, training results in job satisfaction and boosts employees' morale. We saw here that when an employee is provided training and development programs, then he is very motivated. He knows how to do his work properly. He is ready for future challenges. This makes an employee very effective and efficient. And such effective and efficient employees are obviously an asset for the organization. So training and development program gives many advantages to the organizations, right? So with this, I come to the end of this topic. In my next video, I'll be discussing about types of training method, that is on the job training and off the job training. Do like and subscribe my channel, which is Simplified Basic Concepts. Thank you.